afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, June 10th, 2024. It is now 1:30 p.m. and I am Nick Janahakis, Chair for the St. Johns County Cultural Resources Review Board, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. All right, let's start with roll call. I am present, Nick Janahakis. Christine Newman.
Here.
Robert Olson. Absent. Janet Jordan.
Here.
Susan Sheldrup. Absent. Blair Knighting. Absent. Dr. Keys.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. All right, I'm going to read the public notice civility clause that we have. The Cultural Resource Review Board serves as an advisory board which makes recommendations to the Board of County Commissioners. This is a properly noticed public meeting held in accordance with requirements of Florida law. Members of the public will be given reasonable opportunity to be heard on propositions before the board as those items are addressed on the agenda. For public comments on matters not being considered by the board today, a general public comment period will be provided to address the board on matters within its jurisdiction. Each person addressing the board shall limit comments to 3 minutes. Persons shall not address the board or any member thereof unless specifically recognized by the chairperson to do so. Once recognized, members of the public shall address their comments to the board as a whole. Public comment is intended for the board to hear from the public and shall not be considered an opportunity to demand immediate responses from the board or its members. Board members shall not engage in dialogue with persons making public comments unless the question or comment is directed to the chair or made with permission of the chair. All right. I wanted to recognize that Commissioner Krista Joseph is present today. Also, Mr. Ryan Mausch, who is acting as the liaison now to this board, and Corinne
George.
Corinne George is
yes.
also in attendance. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to open it, although there's no one here to open it to, general public comment for items not on the agenda. From anyone? Anyone?
Oh, I got lots of stuff.
Go ahead. So the chair recognizes Dr. Keys.
Okay, first of all, some positive stuff. How's that? In July, middle of July, the Preservation on Main Street Florida Trust for Historic Preservation Conference will be in Tallahassee as part of Tallahassee's bicentennial. So if anyone's interested in going to that, or if the county wants to send a staff person, that'd be good. And probably more significantly from a sort of big picture perspective is that Florida will be hosting the biennial National Alliance of Preservation Commissions Forum Conference down in West Palm Beach. Again, it only happens every 2 years. It's a competitive conference as to where it's held. So I don't think I was to be on the board 30 years ago, but I don't think we've ever held it in a Florida city. So that's kind of a big deal. Anyway, if anybody's interested, the NAPC conference is the end of July, and it's July 30th, 31st, and then 1st, 2nd, 3rd of August. Workshops, tours, all kinds of stuff there. And hotels, there's a conference hotel and rates and all that stuff too. So, shameless self-promotion, they have you doing walking tours. We used to jokingly call them, for the National Trust did, and we called them landmarks on the run, but now we're not quite so young anymore, so we call them peripatetic preservationists. So we walk instead of run. But so we're doing that 2 days, and then I will talk about fundraising, and then we're going to look at policy issues for preservation and new generation on that too. And then since technically this isn't a public meeting, you guys can keep this to yourselves. But I am receiving a national award from them for bringing preservation to localities.
Yes.
So,
And this is where? Where was it held? Tallahassee?
It'll be in West Palm Beach.
Oh, West Palm
The state
Beach.
conference is Tallahassee, the other will be in West Palm Beach.
And you said July?
It's 30th, 31st, and then 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of August. But it's NAPC Forum, if you but there will be, you know, speakers again from all over the United States.
What's the award you're receiving?
It is the John and Sue Renault Award, and it's got a lot of words, but basically for working from a state or federal perspective to bring historic preservation to localities. So I've been on the Florida Trust Board since 2020. Anyway,
Good for you.
so they only give one a year, every other year, so
Wow.
I was very shocked.
When is that presentation? What date is that? And I'm
That'll
only
be-
asking because I'm out of town part of those dates.
It's August 3rd. Yeah.
The work,
It's amazing,
well,
kids-
last day, right?
It was funny because they kept saying, "Are you staying Saturday night?" And I said, "I don't know, I've already been there like 5 days." And then finally they said, "All right, we need you to stay Saturday night." Like, oh, wow. So, anyway, yeah,
Well, congratulations.
thanks. So, the other claim to fame is that I've raised $50 million for 30 communities over the last 45 years. So I'm not going home yet. But,
We can use that here too.
Pardon?
Let's start raising some here.
Oh, I there's I got a Rowita Award for raising $20 million in St. Johns County, and then I
Excellent.
raised 12 more for Flagler right after that.
Excellent.
Anyway, but, so a lot of preservation going on there. There will also be trainings over the next couple of years, so if we need to do that to keep our certified local government status. But the members, obviously, if you go to a conference, that helps on that too. And I'm guessing, hopefully everybody knows that by like 1 1/3 points, anyway, we are the #1 ranked location in Florida Black History Museum. So, I told a couple people, I have spent a lot of time over the last 2 months because I'm the unofficial sort of historian on that because I'm very familiar with the property and with the FPAN staff. We walked it looking for signs of cemeteries and plantations and all that stuff.
Chair,
So-
can I ask her a question about it?
Please.
Is it like for sure, or is there still a chance that it won't go through?
That's why I was trying to pull up. The next meeting is, they postponed the June 5th meeting. The chair chose to, she's from Eatonville. Eatonville is #2. She has postponed the meeting for a couple of weeks. It's not on the website, and it's a virtual meeting now.
So it sounds fishy.
Well, let's just say it's a lot harder to have government in the sunshine when you do things like that. The vote was 5 to 4 for St. Augustine to have, or St. Johns County, to have the museum. Anyone who voted for the motion under Robert's Rules of Order could procedurally reintroduce. But let's just say collectively this, and we have amazing support. If you have not pulled this stuff up, I mean, the Jaguars asked to participate. DPC is on board JAGsport, you know, we have dozens of corporations from the whole region. So everybody's pretty.
But there's
comfortable.
still I just didn't know.
There's
if it-
just some animosity still, because Eatonville it's you know, a little tiny place surrounded by Orlando. It's in Orange County. It has 2,000 people in it, and there's an enormous amount of development pressure. And again, the chairman is from there, and she's not happy. So
We'll see, right?
anyway, that's the yeah. So, but that was a big deal. So, and it'll be out on Florida Memorial property if you guys are not familiar with that. So West King Street, near where the A.L. Lewis Arch is, was the campus. So Holmes Boulevard and West King. So, I think that's everything.
Okay. Any other public comments from anyone? Okay. All right. Next is the approval of meeting minutes from April 8th, 2024.
Which we can't do if we don't have a quorum.
Correct.
So we'll have to carry.
So it carries on. Carries to the August meeting?
Correct.
All right. Yeah, and that, so for the record, we do not have a quorum. We're supposed to have 5 out of 7. We're at 4. But again, there are no agenda items. Okay. Approval of the current agenda. The only item on the current agenda is an update by Mr. Ryan Mausch.
And we can't really, he could give it information, but we still can't approve the agendas, that's what I'm not for. But you could talk to us.
Correct.
So give us an update, but then it'll have to be reiterated at next meeting?
Sure, I can do that too.
Okay.
All right, so the first update, so this is Ryan Malk for the record with Trump staff. County staff has completed the applications for 2 small matching grants through the Department of Historical Resources. Those are $50,000 apiece, and they've been talked about from the last meeting. One is for the A1A Historic Properties Survey, very similar to the one we did at the northern end of the county, starting from the northern county line down to the Volano Beach area. So we're continuing that same theme. We're going to start there in Volano again, continue a little bit south into Porpoise Point, and then continue down into the mid-Anastasia Island and then southern Anastasia Island area, including the Crescent Beach area and Point South. And so I do have a map here that was generated, if I can pass that around or even send that out if you'd like.
So one clarification point, the survey then straddles the waterway?
Yeah, the survey, similar to the northern one, there's both sides of A1A, so it's basically the A1A corridor. It sort of hops around there, around the city of St. Augustine Beach,
Okay.
and then continues on both sides of A1A all the way down. And again, we're looking for structures 50 years and older. I think we even go a little bit younger, of 45 years and older. And so...
We'll go stand there so
Yeah.
we can survey.
Yeah. And so, we'll continue that.
Not me, I'm young.
The young ones are.
I'm kidding. I'm not either.
And so I do have the application itself that we filled out, and we submitted that a couple weeks ago now to the state. And so I do have copies of those that I can distribute as well. And we also have the other application, which is the Hastings Official Records Archive. Did you have a question?
Just a quick question. So it won't include things like Janung's Fish Camp, because that doesn't straddle A1A?
Actually, I believe it does go over
Access
to...
from A1A.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay.
I think you're gonna have to.
Yeah, as you go farther south, the corridor actually stretches over to the Matanzas River. So it includes a majority of the island at that point. And I think you're going to have a lot less number of structures in this area versus you were loaded up all the way down A1A as on the north side, Ponte Vedra area. So hopefully that keeps in line with the consultant. As far as the pricing, got to stay within that $50,000 cap for the grant.
Well, and you asked for 50,000 from the state. Did you do it as a matching grant? Because I think 12.5 has to be hard cash, and the other 37.5 can be in kind.
I think it's just straight because we're
So
a
you didn't have to
CLG.
match it this year?
Yeah, we didn't have to match last time either in 2020 as well. It was just straight.
Is that because it's CLG?
Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, I think that's part of being a CLG is
You should know that.
well, they used to still make you.
Yeah.
They changed everything this year. This is the first year you didn't have to match on the big grants, and you had to ask for $1 million.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on over there.
So yeah, the last corridor study was just free and clear 50,000, and we used that to hire a consultant.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I just said, so everybody knows, I assume that Porpoise Point is built on film.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sand dunes. And so let's see. So the next one is the digitizing of the records by a consultant as well, another $50,000, and that was the Hastings Official Records Archive. So that's what that includes.
Those records that, surprise! Where are those records, by the way?
They're stored here. Yeah. Thank you to board members for providing letters of support for those 2 applications. October 3rd is when the grant review panel will review the grants, the applications, and members are encouraged to attend and support in Tallahassee. And I guess that's at the DHR office there. The next one would be America 250. The events will begin in January of 2025. Apparently Haley had sent out a link for that. If not, we can certainly send out. I got a newsletter for that. You know, it's a big national events coming up to see what we're doing locally.
Well, I know that members of the DAR met with Chairman Arnold last week, I think.
Okay.
We're going to do a Liberty Tree and all sorts of stuff.
Good.
So in the county, the region to participate.
Good. Third, the Canwright House. As you could probably see when you were driving by, the relocation was successful to Collier Blocker Puryear Park. There is a ribbon cutting that is scheduled tentatively for Juneteenth, so that's June 19th. Hasn't been confirmed yet. I checked just as early as last week with Parks and Rec. They haven't confirmed yet when the specific date is on that ribbon cutting, but it would be great for everybody to attend that.
They have the windows in and they're painting the trim and they'll have a handicap ramp built.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a ramp out there.
Yeah.
You don't have a time for the ribbon cutting?
It hasn't been
It's been announced.
notification
Hopefully in the
yet.
morning, considering the
Surprise.
weather.
Yeah.
7 a.m.?
Yeah.
The county staff, Parks and Recreation as well, has been working with local historian Mr. David Nolan and the West Augustine CRA to finalize language for signage for the Canwright House. So that'll be good too. And eventually it will become a landmark, so you know that'll be county staff submitting for that, and obviously there's enormous support for it at the board of County Commissioners. And so, you know, that's probably going to have to be worked through our Parks and Recreation Department. And finally, I had an update about the Florida Museum of Black History, the task force that Dr. Keyes already talked about. So, you know, we're obviously St. Johns County was voted #1 by, was it 1.3%? So, yeah, and potentially be located there at Memorial College campus,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, they have an agreement. I think the final total was 17 acres west of Holmes.
Okay.
So they won't disrupt where the original campus foundations are still sitting.
Okay, good. And so now I'll turn it back over to you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. So we did get board member reports and staff reports. I think the next item is in the journal, unless I'm missing something.
It appears.
Can you update me on Haley Bar?
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, she submitted her resignation, and it was about 2 weeks ago, or even earlier than that. And so her last day was May 31st, and so we have submitted to our Human Resources Department, and it's going to stay the same as when Haley was in the position, so same duties and everything. So that hopefully will be advertised soon, within the next week or two.
Did she take a job somewhere else?
She left for personal reasons.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's a cute girl. Not in, but just a good person.
Yeah, she was. She really hit the ground running, and we kind of all appreciated her being around. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, she learned the position very quickly, and we're very appreciative of.
She got up to speed.
Yeah, for a short time here.
So Leslie, you're not going to apply for that?
I'll be wondering, you can't afford me.
You can put a request in. You never know what happens.
Volunteer.
I wanna work
It's
40 hours a
volunteer though.
I know. America 250 is one of my big volunteer things, and the Black History Museum is doing that too. So, yeah. I try to have a life.
You only live once.
My apologies. I'm trying. I know I had an item, and I thought I wrote it down, and I did not, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Okay.
You'll have to push out for next meeting. It wasn't that important if I didn't. If I can't remember it. I think we are at a record. 151, and
Do you want to see if Sally wants to sing?
yes.
I just want
Did
to
you,
thank
did
everybody.
you want to give us an update for the Hastings Festival? I was
Yeah.
there.
Sure. We had a wonderful event, 2 days. We had a guesstimate of 11,000 people over 2 days, which I don't think Hastings has seen that many people in a decade.
It's because you added bacon.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. That's all I heard about.
Bacon did it, but it was a whirlwind success. We learned a lot of things that will improve tremendously next time. But we had a wonderful turnout. Weather was grand, and that's always a critical factor. But yeah, it was a great success.
When do they start moving the library stuff out?
I know.
Soon?
It's going to W.D. Harris, and well, they're going to close for a while. And they're,
They haven't closed yet, though.
yeah, no, they haven't. But they're going to move up to the north part of the district, and we will begin working to get all of our capital improvement projects moving forward. We've got the pavers and the street lights and all kinds of stuff going on. And we got the train depots coming our way.
I was gonna say, you did grants too, that was my.
Yeah. So I was in grant mode the last month with all these requests for money, so hopefully we'll get funded for
Are
something.
they going to do any kind of a, I don't know if you've ever been to Scottsdale, they have a railroad park. And they have a giant building with all these different trains running all the time and the whole, all different types and forms of trains that are running around.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to do anything like that over there?
Not immediately. The best we can do is just get the physical train depot structures located. We do have the Railroad Society down at Ormond Beach.
That's a nice
been,
one.
very active in discussing with us on activating the train track from maybe Bull's Head to Hastings
Cool.
or back and forth or something, but that's down the road. We have to get there first.
Well, CSX still has a commemorative train
Yeah.
out of Jacksonville too.
Yeah. Or we can alleviate our roadway problems and just reinstate the train. But thank you for coming out and supporting Hastings.
You're welcome. All right. And with that, I will ask that we adjourn. Anyone second that motion?
I'll second.
All right. Seconded by Ms. Newman. It is now 1:52, and we are adjourning
Thank you, sir.
the meeting. Thank you.
Unofficially, the
Thanks,
next
guys.